Got America all over me, all in my mind and in my skin. Got America all over me. Is where it starts, where does it end? 75% African, da-da-da-da-da. A little Asian thrown in there too. The rest is European, so there's nothing I can do. Got America inside of me. I got her running through my veins. Got America inside of me. Can't get her out my brain. Confused, annoyed, anxious all the time too. Mind going in so many directions that I don't know what to do. Da-da-da-da-da. I keep this up, I'll be a nervous wreck. You won't have to worry, I'll cut my own neck. America has assimilated me. Got two people inside one skin. Got my white man fighting my black man. Most days, I don't know who's gonna win. Present stress syndrome, cholesterol, cortisol too. If my pressure goes any higher, my doctor tells me I'm through. America's poisoned me. From the food to the air I breathe. Still chained to a ghetto. All my money, it don't mean a thing. Da-da-da-da-da. Scrub my body in the shower till the skin comes off my chest. Da-da-da-da. Then wash my hands like a surgeon. And still I can't forget. Got America all over me. Got her crawling across my skin. Got America all over me. So tell me, why can't we be friends? Puzzling evidence, I see it all around. Da-da-da-da, that one town's all built up while my little town, she's falling down. They say unemployment is low, but when all my money's spent, I got me these 3 jobs, but I still can't pay my. America has devalued me. And all the folk from my high school. This one part I do get. Only certain people get to rule. I've worked all my life for these long 400 years. Me and mine have been all over, and that includes those trails of tears. My kids are all mixed up. Here's a little something I ain't told you yet. They all want them that good hair. They tell me Kinky's still a mess. I got America all over me. I got America all over me. Got America all over me. Oh yeah, that's the one, brother.
I guess you call that "Got America All Over Me."
Yeah, I do. All over me. We just put "Got America" in the front so we give it a little perspective. I got a lot of things over me, man. I got juice, man. I got, I got thoughts. All over me.
If you are tuning in, my name is Ulysses Butch Slaughter. This is Remain Creative, and I got a special something for you today. You already heard it. That's my brother Walter Jones out of Gary, Indiana. For those of you that were with us back in November 2018, we had a Chester-made exchange with some incredible artists, workers out of the city of Gary, Indiana. Gary has a special place in my heart. I'm a Chicago guy, so Gary wasn't that far from me growing up. So I might have a little Gary on me. Walter Jones, thank you for joining me here for this Remain Creative special segment on Motivational Mondays. Welcome, my brother.
Oh, Ulysses, thanks for having me tune in with you, bro. Really appreciate it.
Man, 2 years almost since you were here. And luckily for me, I had the opportunity with my wife to see you last June when I was in Chicago. I really appreciated you making the time to come into the Loop, downtown Chicago, to hang out with us for a while. It was great seeing you. What you been up to, man?
Boy, that's a totally loaded question. I'd have to add, you know how loaded that is. Just to echo on what you're saying, though, Ulysses, is making that intentional attempt to remain in a creative form as opposed to a more reactive state of mind.
Your poem, your song, I told you when I first heard it the other day, it brought up Gil Scott Heron for me, and then every time you go da da na na na, I start thinking about B.B. King. And it is the lyrics are profound, and I want to make sure that we get those lyrics so we can put them with this podcast so people can sing along with you. That's a powerful tune, man. What inspired that?
Well, I'm getting a little older and a little more, in some ways, jaded. But I think a few years back, I penned a piece in which I just declared to myself that I was not in a position any longer to carry the burden of anyone but my people. Even though I, as I state in the piece, I am a mixed human also, but I am seen as a black man, and I actually identify primarily as such. And this was an extension. This was it's a cry. It's an ode. It's all those things, and it's a little more, because as you were mentioning, America's all over everybody. I wanted to pin it in a real simple, bluesy kind of way, hopefully to allow others to maybe think about it and maybe interject how America's all over them too.
You talk about the blues, man, and when I saw you last June 2019, it was an entirely different world. When I saw you last June, at least from my perspective, I was quick when I saw you to walk up to you, shake your hand, hug you, sit within inches of you. Wasn't concerned about my health, wasn't concerned about all the stuff we concerned about now, man. Again, it's changed, but what has remained the same for you in spite of everything that's changed?
Ulysses, one of the things that I'm having to concern myself with is if, in fact, we were to meet today, it would be the same sort of greeting that I would really want to express to you. Bad breath, not to mention, but this new situation has placed me in a position to regard my first reactions to things and to people and to situations. I'm a touchy-feely, tree-hugging kind of, person. And so my first reaction a lot of times is to reach out reach into the aura of another person, and you can do that most easily with a touch. So,
yeah, man. 2018 November is when you were here in the city of Chester. Tell me, what do you remember most about hanging out here with us back then?
The most beautiful part was that it brought back a spirit that I had some 20 years ago on my first visits to Pennsylvania or to Philly. Chester, the architecture. I'm a photographer also, and I'm attracted to architectural details. It had a vibe and a feel to it that reminded me, again, let's say, of Philly, but it also had something that resonated deeply in terms of the continuation of a town that had black involvement, critical critical black involvement to its growth, its development. And then and right along with that had to do with the spirit of the people that I met during that visit. Yourself, Devin, Aaliyah, and others that were genuine, informed, and intentional about what they were trying to change in their environments. Yeah, let me give a shout out to Miss Twyla Simpkins also. She was another seminal person that I met over that visit.
Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure that Miss T gets this. And, I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and I have to correct myself, man. This is 2020, and it was actually November 2017 when we met.
I was hoping it was just 2 years, but 3 sounds even closer, yeah.
I think it was 2017, my brother, because I can remember the different things that I was doing in 2017. I was actually still kind of new to Chester Made myself. I think I was in my first year. And when you and the crew from that area came in, let me back up a little bit because I want to give people a sense of what is your art. You talked about photography. We heard you sing, but I know you also are an art in the garden. Talk some about that. An artist in the garden.
I call myself a legacy, and it gives me chills to say it and to remind myself that my family, we're first generation Georgians and Tennesseans. And my interest in the dirt came from grandparents and aunts, and those work dates in the summer where, it's like, hey, Mom would say, hey, what's going on with you guys on Saturday? Actually, she never asked what we were doing. She said, well, this is what's going on. We're going down to your grandmom's. We're going to work. And so there went your Saturday, So it took me quite a while to get to a spot in life and then just space where I was offered the opportunity to just not house somewhere, but to occupy the dirt. And so that's been about 16, 17 years wherein I've practiced, agriculture or gardening. And then I'm a part of the Gary Commons Grow Space, which is a small orchard in a urban space.
And so again, poetry, photography, singing, the earthwork that you do, these are the types of things, it seems to me, that would help people to not only remain creative, but also remain relevant and remain self-sufficient, more self-sufficient at a time like that. What do you think about that?
I believe that there are a lot of opportunities presenting themselves to Americans. One of the things that I've also struggled with is I want to get this book title correct, but maybe I might have it backwards. White Spaces, Black Faces.
Yes.
And it speaks of the trauma that a lot of us go through. Generational black folks for sure, because you leave a situation and you want to improve. And one of the things that we've done in terms of our urbanization is not to deny, but to want to remove ourselves from our connection to the dirt. Well, some folks will anyway. It is a fact. The dirt is from whence we came and shall return. So there's no escape there. It is an opportunity to recognize from whence our sustenance comes, and try to shorten that chain between that growing, that processing, and then that final consumption.
I'm looking at that book, and for people who want to know what you said, that book is called Black Faces, White Spaces. It is reimagining the relationship of African Americans to the great outdoors, and it's by an author by the name of Carolyn Finney. And I look around these things that we call concrete jungles, my brother. In the absence of, my wife always points out the absence of trees, the absence of real food. We talk about places as food deserts, and it just seems like it not just at a time like this, because I think this time of lack of access to real food has been with us for a long time, but maybe in times like this, we feel it a little bit more deeply. Um, I want to ask just one or two more questions, man, because one of the things for sure is I want to make sure that we do this again. We do another Remain Creative really soon with you, because there's so much to talk about, just so much to talk about. Um, what is the art scene like right now in Gary? And a lot of people have closed the doors, turned off the lights, you know, flip signs that says closed or out of business. What's happening with the art scene in Gary?
Well, for sure, if you're talking my relationship with younger artists, I know that necessarily this impacting their lives in a way that maybe is more shocking than we're say more seasoned or aged people. I know that it's put them in a frame of mind that is sort of confusing, but I also encourage. I've had to encourage, both a younger artist friend and one of my stalwarts. That in time, art is always, 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 always one of humanity's first refuges when it comes to reaction or to our current situation. So, given the distancing that is occurring, of course, venues and are limited. But at the same time, I've encouraged people to all remember we are always, humanity, and I am always, always.
I'm glad that you said that, man, because that was actually my second question. I don't know if you remember Kenny Hunt, Art Monster here in Chester.
Yes.
Kenny said something very similar, and it had to do with the motivation to be an artist in difficult times, and the people who were artists in difficult times, and how they told the stories of their times. They didn't stop writing about the difficult times. They didn't stop painting. They didn't stop singing. It was the art, the creativity that helped us to move from one place to another. So I think you already answered my second question regarding the importance, how you remain creative and the importance of remaining creative. But if you want to add something there, I welcome that.
Well, okay. Art's beautiful. Life is painful. And between those two things is creativity.
If I had a mic, I'd just drop it, but I got a phone and I might break it. So
don't drop the phone. Just listen.
If you are just tuning in to this part of Remain Creative, my name is Ulysses Butch Slaughter. I am program director for the Chester Made program here in the wonderful city of Chester, the first city of Pennsylvania, Chester. I'm talking with my brother Walter Jones out of Gary, Indiana. Walter was with us back in November 2017, man. 2017. But you know what I'm loving, man, is that we remain in contact. That we have remained in contact in creative together.
Yes, sir. And that is the beauty of really, we never know when we make our memories necessarily as we pull those memories forward or touch back into those memories. It allows us to create forward. We pay some debts forward. Our meeting in 2017 was an opportunity for us to go forward, and here we are, bro. What you think?
I'm loving it, man, and I'm looking forward to the next time we do this. I'm looking forward to our next conversation. As I said to you the other day, my circle is always tight, so my social distancing is really nothing new for me. I generally will stay distant from a lot of stuff, but I gotta have you on my weekly playlist, my brother. I mean, just from an inspiration standpoint, love talking to you, love sharing with you, and I'm glad you were able to join me for this segment.
Oh, boy, it's been a total privilege. I always remind friends, no matter whether they're new or old, in terms of times, a time of knowing, we've got to be a little bit more sensitive to the fact that these connections are not a right; they are a privilege. And we must act, in intentional ways that keep that blood going back and forth, bro. Thank you so much.
Brother, thank you so much. My name is Ulysses Butch Slaughter. You've been listening to Motivation Monday, Remain Creative, the Chester Made Project. That's my man Walter Jones. I'm signing off, and I will talk with you all soon. Take care.